Hi, it's Jeff Shrimpton here. I just wanted to make you a little video just based on an experience that I just had shopping. I'm moving house soon and we need removal men. So I went on Check a Trade. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 of the best rated services on there and sent them all an email saying, we're moving house, we'd like you to quote, please. So out of the 4 companies, Company A came back first thing the next morning saying, yes, we'd love to come and see you, and here's a little bit about us. This is what's going to happen when we come round. This is our process. This is what we'll do. Companies B and C and D took between 24 and 36 hours to come back to me after the next working morning. So 9 o'clock, because I applied in the evening, so it'd be 9 o'clock the next morning. It was another 24 to 36 hours for them to respond. I responded to all 4 of them saying, yeah, come at this time, come at that time, gave them all a slot. Company A came straight back and said, yep, that's fine. We'll come round. Our salesperson or our estimators, called whatever his name was, he'll be there at that time. Companies B and C came back to me again, 12 to 24 hours, confirming that they'd accept the slot that I gave them to come and see the property. Company D replied, I think a further 24 hours after that, so I discounted them. They were already out of the game. So first lesson, first through the door, best dressed. Get your responses in really quick because it matters. So interestingly, Company A sent me an email, and at the footer it was some stuff about their business, a link to their website. We've been established since the 1800s. A really professional email with a good footer that looks like they're a quality outfit, and it was well written. Companies B and C, their responses, both of them at the bottom of their email, it said sent from my iPhone, and didn't have anything about the company. It was a fairly short reply. You know, you could just see someone, you know, getting out of the car and just sending off a quick reply, whereas Company A, I felt like someone was in an office and they were replying to me professionally. So that was the first thing. So on the day they came to come, I wasn't in I was in the house, I was in the office, but I wasn't dealing with them. My wife was dealing, but I could hear a little bit through the door of what happened. The guy from Company A came, impeccably smart, introduced himself, really friendly, and it was really clear right from the start that he had a very, very robust procedure of what he was going to go through during that time. In fact, they'd already told us what the procedure was before we'd arrived. And another important thing I forgot is they just sent us a letter, hard copy, with a glossy flyer saying they've been established since the 1800s, showing a picture of their latest vehicle and a horse-drawn vehicle to show how long they've been doing this thing. So that is, I think it's still on my kitchen side now, constantly reminding me of the name of their company. So that was something that they did that nobody else did. So it was really clear that this guy had a process, and the process was about delivering quality assurance for the client. So we're you're in really good hands here, sir, madam. We've got years of experience. Don't worry about that. We're going to take care of that. Quite often people ask us about this, but don't worry, we've got that covered too. So they're actually answering the questions before we've asked them, because they know we're going to ask those questions. Interestingly, Company B, very different, and I could hear this through the office door, and I was cringing as I said, all right, love, well, just firstly, a little bit about myself and my company. Well, it's just a little company, really. It's just me and my wife. It's not much of a company, really, but, you know, we kind of get by. That was pretty much the gist of it. And that was typical British, self-deprecating comments where you just don't want to show off about your business. But actually what that did is make us feel uncomfortable about doing business with them. Whereas Company A, the guy was very robust. We're the best in the marketplace, madam. You're in absolutely good hands. We're going to take care of that. This is going to go so smoothly. Much, much better way of doing it. And the fact that you could tell he was going through a professional procedure to make sure he didn't forget anything out, rather than company B, the guy just kind of came round and sort of looked at the wardrobes and scratched his head a bit and went, or sucked his teeth a little bit. It didn't really make us feel very comfortable. So this company C was fairly similar to company B. So we've now got 3 in the running. So company A tell us they'll have a quotation to us within 24 hours. So do company B are the same. In fact, they're also about 24 hours for them. And company A and B got that in. Company A was well before we expected it. Company B was about on time for what we expected. Company C, as yet, we have not had a quotation from them. So they're paid to be on Checker Trade. They've paid for their website. They pay for someone to respond to the messages, and they pay for someone to come round to our house. That's cost them a chunk of money, and they've not got a quotation to us in yet. And that is 2 or 3 days late now. We've already decided. So they've just wasted all that opportunity. And I wonder how often that's happening within that business. So it's now down to 2. So we've been sent 2 quotations. Company A is 20% greater than company B. And we're going with company A. We're certainly not going with the cheapest. Interestingly, the conversations that were had between the 2, company A, quality, we're going to make sure this is perfect for you, this is great. Company B, well, yeah, I think it'll be cheaper if we do 2 vans, and we'll do it in the best possible way and keep the price down. So there's 2 very different messages that are coming across here, but this is all my worldly possessions. I don't want cheap, I want quality and I want value. Sure, if company A had been twice the price of company B, we may well be thinking we might go with company B, or we might just go out and invite some more people to come and quote if we didn't like them. But it was 20% more for company A, and that's who we decided. To be honest, we'd already decided before we'd seen the quote, as long as it wasn't too much more than the other one, we were going to go with them. So that's deal done. Company C never even got a look in. Company D certainly didn't get a look in. I almost think that company C was worse because they bothered to come and see us, but they've not got a quote in. Company B, if he'd have come in, he was a really nice guy. If he'd have come in with less self-deprecation, come in and made us feel more certain that he could have done a great job for us, maybe we'd have considered that. But there was so much doubt coming from him that it was just never an option. So really, really great job done by company A. They did miss a couple of things. I made some notes. Firstly, I've got a really professional quote from them, all the terms and conditions, and know exactly how to proceed next and what I need to do. But unfortunately, what I do need to do is I need to print that off. I need to sign it, scan it, send it back or post it. Now, my printer works fine today, but sometimes I run out of ink. Sometimes I have trouble with the scanner. It works on one computer. You know what scanners are like. Maybe 1 in 50, 1 in 100 people has a problem with that. And they'll just go to the other guy where I can just reply by email saying, yes, I accept. So there's an opportunity there for a couple of them, people to fall out of the funnel, when actually there's really simple and easy digital ways for them to collect an electronic signature from me using DocuSign or EchoSign or one of those services. You can get free accounts on it. Just send a link, and you could have done that. I'd have done it by now from my phone. As it is, I haven't got round to printing that off yet because I've got other things to do. So they've not made it super simple for me to say yes as yet. So that's one thing they missed. And another really important thing they missed is actually they've done business with me before, and they just don't seem to know that. They moved me into this house 7 years ago, and at no point have they mentioned it. Now, firstly, they've missed a trick that maybe every 1 or 2 or 3 years they could have sent me a card or at least an email to say, on the anniversary of you living in your house, hope you're really happy there, how's your family getting on in that house, just to remind us of the name of the company that moved us in. Because in removals it's a long game. We play, it's from 1 to 5 to 7 years that we're going to move house. But there's also referrals. If I know a friend who's moving in, if they've kept in touch with me, I'll remember who they are so I can refer them. So they've not done that. Also, when the chap came to the house, he could have greeted us with, Mrs. Shrimpton, an existing customer. As an existing customer of ours, we did make sure that we really look after and really remind us that we are an existing customer. That would have made it much, much easier for us to buy, because we're much more comfortable buying off someone we've already bought from. In fact, general rule of business, people are always going after new customers, but actually forgetting the existing customers or past customers they've got. They're 6 times more likely to buy from us than the new customers who don't know who they are. So they did miss a little bit of a trick on that one. So the reason I'm making this video is because I want you to have a think about your sales process. If you're going out to people's homes to quote, or if you're going into a business to quote, how can you make that much more a multi-touch process so that every single communication you have talks about is subliminally saying quality, professionalism, precision. We do what we say we're going to do. How can you make every step along that way really, really robust so that you're getting all the touches in that the competitors will not do? So I have a client who runs a plumbing company, which done this exercise. So he'll be sending out the letter to let the customer know what's going to happen on the day of the appointment. And when they came, really interesting, the first thing we did when we talked about the process, knock on the door. What happens next when the customer opens the door? Hello, Mr. Smith, may I come in? First thing they're going to do from now on is they're going to put blue plastic shoe covers over their shoes. What was really interesting is we had 2 estimators in the room when we were discussing this, and I asked the question, do you take your shoes off in the home? One of them said yes, always. The other one said only if asked to, which was interesting. So the next question is, do you wear your shoes at home inside? Yes. Do you in your house? No. So you can see there's a real disparity between what people think is acceptable in other people's homes. And while this guy said, yeah, if they ask me to take your shoes off, I don't mind at all, it's fine. But what about the people who are too shy to ask, or just don't feel that they want to ask, but then you turn around, walk across their carpet and they're staring daggers into the back of your head? So we just don't know, and that might only be 1% of people that do that. But if you blow 1% from something so silly as that, and there'll always be another percent and another percent and another percent. And that's the whole point of the sales process. Is going back to my example of the removal company, the letter that they sent, maybe that improves conversion by 1%. Maybe the sales process and the robust presentation that the guy gave, maybe that improves it by 2 or 3%. Maybe the fact that they get straight back to you with the asking to come to your house, maybe that's another 1 or 2%. But all these things add up, and before you know it, if you improved your conversion by 10 and 20%, and if you improve your sales conversion by 10 or 20%, you improve your size of your business by 10 or 20% straight away, just by doing this thing. And guess what? It's mostly free or very little cost. Sending out a letter or a brochure and just having this structure doesn't really cost anything. So you could probably understand why it's one of the first things I do when I go into start working with a business, is look at their sales conversion, because there's some real low-hanging fruit there. Because leads are expensive. Let's not waste them by letting people fall out of the funnel with a sloppy sales process. So look, I really hope you found this video helpful. I've really enjoyed doing it. If there's anybody out there that's thinking about the sales process that wants to have a call with me, I'll offer a free call for 20 minutes, and we can run through your sales process if you're thinking about changing it, and I can certainly give you some tips, or we can talk through that and get some improvements on that. I'm sure even in 20 minutes we'll get 1 or 2 of those percents, and at the end of the day, if you're a £1 million company, 1 or 2% goes a long way come the end of the year. So if you'd like to do that, just pop us a message below in the comment box, or email me at jeffshrimpton@actioncoach.com, and we can arrange that. So thank you very much for listening. I'll speak to you soon.